Hi, I'm Nick Graham.
And I'm Rachel Fredman, reporting for the Lobby Observer.
Today we will be focusing on the lunchtime change and the effects on students here at Westboro High School.
Students' lunchtime was originally during fourth period, meaning first lunch started at 11:08.
Now lunch has been changed to fifth period, which has lunch start at 12:08.
Let's see what the Westboro High School Assistant Principal, Mr. Lefebvre, thinks about the topic.
Hi, I'm Dan Bugaev, and I'm here with Mr. Lefebvre.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, Mr. Lefebvre, why did the school decide to change the lunchtime in the first place?
Well, we decided to change the lunchtime last year because of the school start time changing. We were looking at the options of having it, remain period 5 as it's always been, or move it to period 4. And people thought originally that period 5 might be too late in the day. So we figured we'd give it a shot and try period 4. So that was last year. And then basically as soon as the school year started, we started hearing from, I'd say mostly faculty, but some students that they thought it was just coming too early in the day. So that started the conversation.
All right. And were faculty and students coming into the office and specifically asking you to change the lunchtime? Or was it just word of mouth kind of hearing about it?
Yeah, more casual than that. So, I like to walk the halls and bump into students and teachers. And it was more like informal conversations like that that got started. And then obviously, I come back to the office and share some of that feedback with Mr. Callahan. And then we moved it to more of a formal discussion.
Interesting. Have you considered changing the break time to after period 3?
Yeah, we've definitely talked about that. There's no plan to move break right now. We've definitely talked about it. There's a pretty good amount of people, students and staff, that have mentioned that it's kind of neat to have 2 periods, then break, then 2 periods, then lunch. It kind of feels a little bit more natural, to get a bigger chunk of time in there. So, we've talked about moving it back to period 3, but that hasn't been, we haven't gotten as much feedback on that as we did about the lunches.
Okay.
So talking about it, yes, but nothing.
All right.
Nothing really planned.
Great.
Right now.
Thank you.
Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too.
Thank you.
It is helpful to hear this teacher's perspective.
Now to Kate with a cafeteria worker.
Hi, I'm Kate, here at Demos. What is your viewpoint on the new lunch schedule?
Viewpoint on the new lunch schedule? We're talking about the first one or the second one?
The second one.
The second one.
Lunch starts later now.
Yeah, the second one. Well, it was a quick transition because we had to make it happen within, I think it was a week. They gave us the notice. I get stuck behind the buses now, so I have to wait. I can't leave at daytime. We have to make it work. It was what you kids wanted. The young adults wanted this. Mr. Callahan said this was the option, and we worked around it. We have made it work. I'm guessing it's working.
Yeah.
That's totally up to you guys if you're happy with it.
Has it prolonged your cleanup process?
Oh yeah, everything changes. Cleanup process changes. Everybody's schedule changes. There was a lot of people that work in the cafeteria that had to leave at a certain time to go pick up their kids from school.
Oh yeah.
So now they're behind. Everything changes, but we have to make it work. It's part of the job. We can't. It's what the young adults, what you guys want, and we have to make it work. You're lifeblood of what this makes this operation work.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time.
No problem.
Back to you.
Interesting.
Now to 2 WHS students with opposing perspectives.
Thank you, Nick and Rachel. I'm here with Emily Bruck, a sophomore here at WHS. So, Emily, what's your opinion on the new lunchtime?
I actually really like it, which is actually a somewhat unpopular opinion, but I do really like it. It's at a better time for me now.
So what do you mean by better time?
Before it was around 11 and I was never hungry, but now it's at 12:30, which I think is way more appropriate time for me to be eating lunch.
Would you say it affects you drastically?
It definitely affects my schedule a lot. Before I had 3 periods after lunch and I had a really hard time focusing, but now I have only a period and a half. So
Was it hard to get used to?
no, it was fine. Along with like my group of friends, it was really easy on both lunches. So
What's the biggest complaint you've heard about it so far?
definitely that it was too sudden. That it was hard for students to get used to it after being so like comfortable with their lunch before. But I don't have that issue, so I can't relate to that.
Thank you for giving us your opinion.
I'm Dan Bugayev, and I'm here with Kate. Kate, what's your opinion on the new lunch schedule?
In my opinion, I do not like the lunch schedule, as I don't think it was a necessary change. It has pushed back lunch a great amount, as third lunch is eating at 1:08, which in my opinion is way too late, as kids are waiting like 5 hours to eat from breakfast to lunch.
What lunch do you have?
I have first, which is a plus because it's like lunch is at the right time, but I enjoyed having a split lunch as it really like broke up my fourth period class, which was great.
What other opinions do you have?
Almost everyone I have talked to about the lunch schedule has had the opinion that they are all like starving by the time they're eating because they all particularly have third lunch, but I just don't think it's an overall great change.
Thank you, Kate.
Those are some interesting viewpoints.
I agree.
What do you think about the new lunch change?
I prefer the old schedule. And you?
I personally don't mind the second lunch, but I prefer the first lunch.
Now it's up to you. What do you think about the lunch change?
This has been Nick Ram.
And Rachel Fredman signing off with the Lobby Observer.